Hello, everybody. I apologize for any feedback. I have the heaters running in here this evening. Our temperatures tanked today and the rain came, so please be patient with me. I'm waiting for my video cam to arrive. It was supposed to be here a while ago. I think it will improve the quality of the videos. It's still pretty light outside. I've got a lamp on in the studio. I don't really want to turn on the overhead lights because I think it will be too shiny and blurry. But anyway, regardless, thank you for your patience. And thank you for joining me. Let's start in a Sukhasana position, a comfortable cross-legged position, a comfortable easy seat. I always recommend sitting up on a blanket. Maybe you have a bolster, a pillow. Find the neutral spine. So if you're leaning back, you want to sit up on something so that the spine neutralizes. I always sit on my meditation pillow. But you all know, you're my students, I always tell you, find your comfortable seat. Whether that's straightening the legs, bending the knees, setting the soles of the feet up on the mat. Maybe a seated position is just not comfortable for you to go into a meditative state. And in that case, find your Shavasana pose. Find what works for you. As we practice yoga, as I guide you through your practice, you all know we all look different doing yoga. Nothing has to be the same. Our bodies, every body, quite literally, is different. We all come from a different place, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. So our practice is going to be different, and that's okay. So keeping that in mind, start to feel centered here. Maybe softly close the eyes. You can rest the hands in the lap, wherever is comfortable. Start to feel rooted through the sitting bones. Feel the length of the spine grow tall from the seat to the crown of the head. Relax the shoulders back and down. Maybe draw them away from the ears here. Maybe slightly engage the core, lift the ribs. And just start to find some comfort, some peace in this moment, which we all so badly need right now. And think about what brought you to your mat. Maybe use this answer as your intention for your practice. I'm obviously practicing here in the evening, so maybe this is an evening sequence you'd like to do. It doesn't matter. Just find your intention. Start to observe the mental body, the physical body, and the breath body. Excuse me. Start to feel the peace within. And throughout the practice, allow yourself to be present. We all are under so much stress these days. Leave that off the mat as you practice, if you can. Let it all go. Start to love yourself here, love your practice. Love your practice for what it was yesterday, what it will be tomorrow. Love your practice for what it is right now. For what it is teaching you, showing you, and giving you. Right here in this moment. Go ahead and place the hands in the heart space, in whatever way is comfortable. You can rest the hands on the chest. You can place one palm over the other. You can interlace your fingers Bringing the dominant hand under, the palms touch, and draw the hands toward the chest. Find that comfortable place for your hands and arms. And as you do this, start to feel the breath here. Feel each inhalation. Feel each exhalation. Feel the rise and the fall of the chest as you breathe in and breathe out. As you breathe in with this heart-centered breathing, breathe in any soothing word that comes to mind. Ease, calm, peace, love. Love is always my favorite. Love, breathe in love. As you breathe in slowly and deeply and gently, breathing in that soothing word, exhale completely and release that word, that emotion, that feeling into the universe. Notice how this slows and steadies the heart. Whatever you're feeling in this moment, in the headspace, in the body, in the spirit, and in the breath, notice how this deep breathing, focusing on this word, I choose love. Notice how it starts to settle the mind and the body. Strengthens that feeling of centered well-being here. You can release the hands, go ahead and relax. Keep the eyes closed. Continue to feel the breath. Begin to lower the right ear to the shoulder. Inhale, lift the head back through center, lower to the left side. Inhale back through center, turn the head over to the right. Bring the head back through center, over to the left. And back through center. Bring the hands down by the side. Inhale to reach and extend. Maybe the gaze follows. Exhale, bring your hands through heart center. Inhale and reach. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale to reach. Exhale, hands through heart center. Go ahead and lower the right hand down. Inhale to reach the left overhead and bend into the right side body here. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower the left hand down, bend into the left side body. Inhale, come up, reach both arms overhead. Exhale through heart center. Go ahead and extend the left leg forward. Bring the right knee to the chest. Maybe the foot comes to the mat here. Flex that left foot. You can either hold the right knee or you can hook the elbow. that doesn't work for me. So I hold my knee and shin here. Bring the right hand behind the bum, inhale to lengthen, and on the exhale, start to twist from the midsection. Bring the gaze over the right shoulder, and pause for a moment. Maybe close the eyes here. On your next inhale, bring the gaze forward, and let's just do a little counter twist here. Bring the hands over to the left side, and kind of bow the head to the mat. Inhale to lift up, we'll switch sides, extend the right leg. Always adjusting here. Bring the right hand to the knee or the shin, maybe you hook the elbow. Bring the left hand behind the bum. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, start to twist. Bring that gaze over the left shoulder. Maybe close the eyes here. Maintain flexion in that right foot that is extended. And really twist from the midsection. We're not pulling with the hand. We're really using that core engagement to twist the body. Make sure you're lengthening the spine. And on the next inhale, come back through center. While we're here, go ahead and extend the legs forward. Flex the feet. Pause for a moment. And with a lengthened spine, we lengthen the spine and keep the natural curve. Start to walk the hands forward. Find a comfortable place for the hands. Maybe on the shins, maybe next to the legs. Maybe you hold the toes here. Just find your comfortable Paschimottanasana, the seated forward fold. You can always start to round the spine, bringing the nose toward the knees if that feels good for you. Allow the body to settle into the pose. With each full breath, allow the upper body to sink a little bit deeper. And again, if we were all in the studio together, everything would look different from mat to mat, and that's okay. We're not in a competition with ourselves. Let's release attachment and judgment with wherever we are. Inhale to lengthen the spine. If it's rounded, bring the hands back to the pelvis and go ahead and come into tabletop. Stack the knees under the hips, the hands under the shoulders here. Inhale, gently lower the belly, lift the tailbone, chest and chin. Exhale, round the spine, coming into angry cat. Inhale to happy cow. Exhale to angry cat. Inhale one more time, Ardriyasana. Exhale, really draw that belly button in toward the spine here. Inhale, find a neutral spine. Bring the left hand under the face. Inhale to reach and extend the right arm. Exhale, lower it down, coming down onto the shoulder. I'm going to turn so I can face the camera. Maybe you stack the left hand over the right. Maybe you extend the left arm forward. Maybe you bring the left hand around to the opposite hip. Just find your thread the needle and start to settle in. You can stay in the pose. I'm going to come out. I'm pressing into the mat with the left hand. Inhale to reach and extend the right hand and lower down. Bring the right hand under the face. Inhale to reach and extend the left arm. On the exhale, lower it down. Again, come on to the left shoulder. And find a comfortable position for the right hand. Again, you stay here. I'm going to come out of the pose. Allow yourself to be present in this moment. Keep the monkey mind from wandering. Find that intention. Find the breath. You all know that I love to switch to Ujjayi Pranayama, sealing the lips, slightly constricting the back of the throat like you're fogging up a mirror. Make a Darth Vader-like sound, for lack of a better description. Just settle in. And then when you're ready, bring that right hand down to the mat. Inhale to lengthen and extend the left, and then lower it down. Staying here, go ahead and extend the left leg, extend the right, coming into plank pose. Breathe here, really squeeze through the core. And then lower the left knee, bring the left hand just above the shoulder, and come into this modified side plank on the left side. Inhale to come up, maybe you catch air time, and bend into this side body. Lower down and lift. Come up into gate pose, Harigasana. One more time, modified side plank. Inhale to come up, bend into the side body. And then release the hand. I'm going to turn to the side. Just for a moment, I'd like us to do a little back bend. So you can bring the hands to the lower back. Maybe you tuck the toes if that feels better with the knees. And just start to lift the heart space toward the ceiling. On the next inhale, come into Phalakasana, once more, plank pose. And this time, lower the right knee down, coming into modified side plank. If you're mirroring me, which you obviously are, we're on the left side, that's okay. We won't use terms. Inhale to lift up to gate. Exhale, come back down. Inhale to lift. Exhale, come back down. Inhale to lift. Ooh, I'm sore today. Exhale, come back down. Ooh, all my muscles are tightening up on me. Lower that top hand. Come into plank pose. And then lower down to a forearm plank. Start to walk the feet toward the head, coming into dolphin. And then walk the feet back out. Lower the belly. Stack the hands. Rest the forehead on the stacked hands in crocodile pose. You can stay here, pausing. Maybe take a couple of deep breaths here. Really expand through the belly, the rib cage, and the chest. On the inhale. And then let everything go on the exhale. Find that word again. Love. Whatever it is for you, find that word. Breathe it in. And then let it go. Maybe from crocodile, you come into forearm plank again. Maybe you come up into plank. You can always modify here, right? By lowering your knees. That's okay. And then shift the hips high to downward dog. Start to pedal out the feet. Find some movement. I'm going to let you all hold your down dog. This is very weird for me to practice yoga while I'm teaching. So hold your downward dog and I'll walk you through it. We want to take the pressure out of our wrists. So really push into the index finger and thumb, maybe the knuckles and fingertips, and externally rotate the shoulders here. Feel the length through the spine. Really relax the head and neck. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. Let it all go. You can move, you can walk the dog, you can lift the left leg and then the right leg. It doesn't matter. Just find your Adho Mukha Svanasana. Find your down dog. Always work to engage the core. Bring the belly closer to the tops of the thighs. Maybe slightly bend the knees. And again, our heels might never come to the mat. I've been doing yoga for a long time and my heels never touch the mat. Although if you want a little bit of a change, which I know my students love here, grab some yoga blocks. Bring the blocks to the top of the mat at an angle so that that space between the index finger and the thumbs can go along the outer edge of the blocks and then lift up into downward dog. Maybe also start to widen the feet. And you can see how just lifting up a little bit gets me closer to the mat. I don't really know if it's my anatomy, I don't know if it's scar tissue, but my heels don't get to the mat. My teacher, Susan, pushes them down. I miss you, Susan. So find your dog. If at any point in this inversion it becomes too much, just come out of it. Continue to breathe, don't hold the breath. And then when you're ready, bend the knees generously and start to walk the hands back toward the feet here. Coming into our standing forward fold. You can always have wide feet. Feet can be touching. It doesn't matter. You can generously bend the knees. The important thing here is that we feel the length in the spine. Relax the head and neck. And maybe if it's comfortable, bring the hands to clasp behind the lower back and let the arms rinse out overhead. If that's not comfortable, just bring the hands down to the mat again. Bring the left hand under the face. This is a great place to use blocks. Inhale to reach and extend the right. Maybe bend that left knee. Exhale, lower the right hand down. Bend the right knee. Inhale to reach the left arm. Exhale, lower it down. Switch sides. Inhale to reach. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to reach the left. Exhale, lower down, find your Uttanasana. And maybe here, bring peace fingers to the big toes. Bend the knees. Draw the elbows away from one another. Lower the upper body. And then straighten the legs as much as feels comfortable. As you're widening the elbows, you're drawing the upper body closer to the legs. Inhale to a halfway rise, Ardha Uttanasana. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Begin to walk the hands back out. Coming into plank again, Phalakasana. Hold here. And this time maybe roll onto the left side, coming into this side plank. Exhale, lower the hand down. I'm going to turn my back to you. Inhale to the right side. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, left side plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, right side. Exhale, lower down. Go ahead and lower the knees. Coming into Hero's Pose, Virasana. I like to bring a block in here. Just adds a little bit of support if you have cranky or chatty knees. Wherever you are, just find your Hero's Pose. Bring the hands to heart center. Take a moment to breathe here. Find your intention. And release the hands, come back up onto the knees, finding our camel pose modified. We're not going to go into a full camel. So if it feels good to tuck the toes, you can bring the hands to the lower back. Inhale, slightly arch the back, lift the gaze toward the ceiling. And then exhale, come down, flatten the feet into child's pose. Inhale, come up. This is actually one of the 5 Tibetans. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. We'll do this 2 more times. After this, exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower down. Find your child's pose. I'm going to come out of the pose. So in Balasana, child's pose, it's getting dark in here, guys, I'm sorry. We can have our legs together. We can have our legs apart. We can have the knees wide and the toes touching. It doesn't matter. You can extend the arms forward. You can bring them back. Find your comfortable Balasana. And with each full breath, allow the body to completely settle. Let the hips sink a little deeper. And then from child's pose, we'll just move into a twist here. Go ahead and walk the hands over to the right and bring the right hand back toward the feet. You're going to push into that right hand as you draw the body more over to the right side. So we're bending into the right side body, but allow the head, if it's possible here, to rest on the floor or the mat. You can stay in the pose. You can always bring in a blanket, a block, a pillow, whatever you have at home, a jacket, and rest the head. Let the upper body go. Even though you're pushing into the right, pulling over to the right, extending through that left side body. We're always working to find that fine line between effort and ease. So again, continue to breathe, never holding the breath. Inhale to lift the gaze, start to bring the right hand back toward the left. Walk the hands over to the left, bending into the opposite side. Bring that left hand back, extend the right arm forward, and lower the head. Keep pushing into that left hand to draw the body over to the left, if that makes any sense. Opening that right side body. And breathe. I'm trying to focus here, but I stupidly turned on the heater, 3 space heaters, and I'm hot right now. So maybe find me as your intention. My students know that I love humor. It's hard for me with this whole laptop yoga thing because I like a sense of humor in yoga. It's hard to deliver that over camera, but just bear with me. So wherever you are, start to walk the hands back through center, come up through a tabletop, and find your favorite pose, Phalakasana. Exhale to down dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale to down dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale to down dog. Inhale to plank. Shift the body forward so that shoulders are over the wrists. Start to lower down. Maybe you bring the knees down first and come all the way to the belly. Pausing again in crocodile. Stack the hands, rest the forehead on the stacked hands. And maybe if it's comfortable for you, bend the knees and just allow the feet to windshield wiper from side to side. And then find some stillness. And when you're ready, go ahead and roll over onto the back. You can bring the hands wide to a T. Palms can be up or down. Or you can make goalpost arms with your hands, bringing them to that 90-degree angle. Go ahead and lift the knees over the hips, flex the feet, and pause here. Really start to engage through the core and lower body. Draw the belly button toward the spine here. And then wherever you are, do you see how my back is arching? See that? We don't want that in yoga. I didn't even realize till I was looking at the camera how badly my back arches. So draw that core in, and then allow the legs to lower to the left, hovering them. Maybe turn the toes toward the floor. Inhale here, and on the exhale, lift the legs back up. Exhale, lower them to the right. Inhale here, and on the exhale, lift back up through center. Inhale, lower to the left. Inhale here. After you breathe out, sorry folks, exhale, come back up. One more time, right side. On the inhale, lower the legs down. Exhale, come back up and pause. Ooh, you see that back arching again? Not good. Lower the feet to the mat. Setting up for a bridge, Setu Bandha Sarvandasana. You can bring the hands down by the side. The feet are hips width distance here. Just past the bum. Inhale to lengthen the spine. And on the exhale, lift everything up toward the ceiling. Imagine drawing those heels toward the bum. Find a comfortable place for the hands. Maybe they're down at the side. Maybe you grab the outer edges of the mat, pulling the hands away from one another. Really squeeze through the glutes here, the core, the hamstrings. Maybe roll up onto the shoulder heads after clasping the hands. Just find your comfortable bridge. Take another breath in, and on the exhale, lower down. Bring the knees to touch, allow the feet to go wide in constructive rest. Maybe place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Think of something here that you're grateful for. Release the hands, allow the knees to become hips width distance again. Inhale to lengthen the spine. And on the exhale, lift everything up to the ceiling. Squeeze the lower body. If it feels good and you feel strong and you want more of a challenge, go ahead and lift the left leg. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift the right. Exhale, lower down. You can stay here. You can keep lifting the legs. It's up to you. Take another breath in. And on the exhale, lower down. Bring the soles of the feet to touch. Allow the knees to fall wide in Supta Baddha Konasana, this reclined bound angle, or Supta, butterfly, whatever you'd like to call it. Again, find one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Think of something you're grateful for. ahead and draw the knees back toward one another. Bring the feet wide and allow the knees to lower to the left. Inhale to lift the knees. Exhale over to the right. Inhale to lift the knees. Exhale, lower to the left. Inhale to lift the knees. Exhale, lower to the right. Inhale one more time, lift the knees. Find a meditation pillow, a blanket, a block, or move to a wall. We'll move into our inversion, Viparita Karani, legs up the invisible wall. And just go ahead and send the legs to the ceiling here. Now you see I'm looking at the camera because it feels weird not to, and I'm worried about the sound quality, but when you're in these precarious positions with the cervical spine, the neck area, keep the gaze up toward the ceiling here. Find a drishti or a focal point, or close the eyes, but keep the neck in that neutral position. Try to keep the feet above the hips here, but we really want little to no core engagement. That's why we use something under the lower body, wherever you are. Go ahead and stay here. I'm going to come out of the pose. For those of you who are new to yoga, I don't want to ruin your Zen, but understand that Viparita Karani, legs up the invisible wall, is a great pose for every single organ, every system in the body. It generally takes about 3 minutes for the blood to recirculate back through the entire body. So if you're doing this at home, make sure you hold the pose for 3 to 5 minutes or longer. It doesn't matter. And also understand that if you're feeling depleted in the middle of the day, you can do Viparita Karani and it should give you a surge of energy. And likewise, at night, my students know, if you're having a hard time sleeping, send the legs up the wall and it should help you rest. So I'll stop talking now so you can enjoy your Zen. If it feels good to move in the pose, you can. Otherwise, find some stillness here. Allow the body to settle with each full breath. Come back to the intention. Maybe meditate on the fact that yoga is not about being good at something. It's about being good to yourself. You can stay in Viparita Karani. You can find your comfortable Shavasana, your corpse pose for Yoga Nidra, yogic sleep, final relaxation. The traditional expression of the pose is lying on the back, allowing the feet and the hands to go wide. I'll go ahead and show you again. But if this isn't comfortable for you, You can bend the knees. You can bring a bolster under the legs. I like Supta Baddha Konasana with blocks under my legs, supporting the body. You can always bring a blanket over the pelvis, maybe underneath the head. If you have an eye pillow at home, you can use that here. Just find your comfortable Shavasana. Final rest, corpse pose. You can stay here as long as you'd like. You can pause the video. And once you come back, maybe roll on to your favorite side, resting the head in the crook of the elbow. Balance is a juggling of asymmetries in our bodies as well as in our lives. When we stand on one foot in a yoga pose, we're creating a radical asymmetry in our bodies, yet we can find balance within that asymmetry. We shift a hip or a shoulder, we engage muscles and root down and make contact with the ground beneath us. Finding balance makes our asymmetries exciting and beautiful. In our lives, things rarely happen exactly as planned. We're frequently thrown off balance and have to change, be flexible, and negotiate with ourselves and with others to find balance once again. If you find that you're off balance, consider that you're simply positioned to find your balance again in a new way. What a great message, considering we really didn't do any balance this evening. We'll all meet in Sukhasana, a comfortable, easy seat, whatever that means for you again. Bring the hands to heart center. Allow the body to settle. Notice what's happening in the mental space, the physical space, the breath body. And then lift the hands to the center of the forehead in honor of mindful thought. Bring them to the lips in honor of mindful speech. And back down to prayer center, always being mindful of love, kindness, compassion, and empathy for yourself first and then for all others. May you be happy. May you be healthy, may you be safe, and may you live with ease. Let us bow to one another as we say, Namaste. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. I love and miss you all. Thank you for your patience. Any feedback is greatly appreciated. The days are long. The nights are even longer. We will all get through this, and man, I look forward to reopening the studio. But in the meantime, come practice with me on the mat, and I love all of you. Namaste.